How's it going, Lazy Bruce's up? Sixkilla, and welcome back to Tokyo Dark. It is time for us to find the girl who we traumatized by murdering a ghost directly in front of her, who we didn't know was a ghost at the time, but apparently she was already dead then, and she was already dead when she killed our partner, so we could have double killed her, triple killed her even. Who knows? I don't. Mai's at the shrine, I believe, so. Whatever amount of kills her you do, she doesn't stay dead. She's like Jason, you know? However many kills, there's never enough kills. Cherry blossoms fall gently at my feet as I approach the Kawana family shrine. In front of me was Mai Kawana, still dressed in the outfit of the shrine maiden. She'd seen me approach and stood there frozen and terrified. The same helpless look on her face as she had when a knife to her throat months before. This time it was me she was terrified of. We were the only two people at the shrine, yet I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. A familiar presence watching from the shadows. Whoa, 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 what? No. It's the mask. I'm not gonna kill her. I'm not doing anything. Nope. We're a cop, not a crazy person. No, I won't do it. Why now? Why her? I don't have to do what you say. I'm not a puppet. I can choose. You, the detective from before. Why are you just standing there? Is it over? I'm fine, sorry to scare you. I'm here to talk to you. See, I've never been good at apologies. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I've been meaning to talk to you ever since that day. I should have come sooner. You're here to apologize? Now? I didn't hear from anyone in 6 months. The police only talked to me once, and then everyone here started avoiding me and acting like it never happened. I guess that makes me the last person you'd want to see now. After that day, I'm sure some police came by and told you that I was following procedure, but that's bull. Police in this country don't go around shooting people. I didn't feel myself and I lost control, putting you at risk. Sounds vague to say I lost control at such a crucial time, I bet. But that's the truth. The truth. It's strange, isn't it? The cherry blossoms, I mean. It's silly, but every time someone comes here and says how beautiful they are, I get so mad. It's like they don't understand my feelings at all. Well, that's selfish, huh? It's not like I want everyone to suffer along with me. I imagine the only other people who understands that is you, Detective. Your name's Ito, right? It's so quiet here. It's hard to imagine something like that the day that day in April really happened in a place so peaceful. But it did. I know that you and your partner were only doing what you could to save me, but I wish I could have helped. I felt so helpless. At least you told me the truth. Thank you. You know, I asked Grandma about the mask the red-headed girl was after, and she denied knowing anything. But it was a lie. I found one of her old journals at the shrine, and she wrote that mask was important and had to be hidden away. Why would she lie to me? I'm sick of everyone trying to always protect me by covering everything up. Grandmother hasn't been the same since that day either. She shuts herself up in that old house and mumbles to herself about darkness and purity. I'm so worried about her. My gut tells me that mask has something to do with it. I'm sorry, listen to me rambling away. I bet you don't care about any of that. The truth is, I think you're right about the mask having something to do with all this strangeness. I actually came here to ask you about it. You think so too? Then let me help you. I don't know anything, but maybe Takashi does. Oh, sorry, Takashi's my brother. He used to live here in Kamakura with me, and grandmother, but he left the first chance he got. We talk on the phone all the time, but he refuses to come back and visit. I get the feeling he knows something I don't. He won't even tell me how my parents died. Where does your brother live now? He's an instructor at a kendo dojo in Yasuhisa in Tokyo. I hear he's a big shot in the kendo world. Sounds like it'd be a good place to start. Do you think he'll speak to me? You can try. He's never been very good at opening up to strangers, though. It's worth a shot. Thanks for helping me, Mai. And, I'm glad I didn't kill you. For no reason. Geez, that mask just wants... Why does the mask want her dead so bad? Or everyone around her, even. What the hell? Alright. Well, we got a new location to head to. Oh, you're back. Leave Kamakura. Asakusa, there. We got this. We're going to solve the mystery. My investigation up to that point led me to believe that finding Takashi Kawana would be difficult and convoluted, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Turns out his kendo dojo was well regarded as a popular training spot for a few national champions and several of the city's police officers. The latter made me nervous. The information I was asking for was sensitive, and I didn't want a word of my investigation finding its way back to HQ. A few misfired questions could end up with officers knocking on my door, or worse, Yukimura himself calling me up. I had to be cautious. I'm really not good at that. It's not my specialty at all. But I'll try. Kitty! Is this the place? I want to look around first. Inside is the interior of the traditional tea shop, but it doesn't look like anyone's been there recently. Hello there, would you be interested in buying some of the finest takoyaki in Tokyo? This isn't the cheap stuff you buy at food stands at a festival. They'll make you question everything you knew about octopus in ball form. Who can say no to that sales pitch? Sure, I'll take some. We go around eating a lot of stuff. Wow, you're right. This is maybe the best takoyaki I've had. Thank you, miss. Best takoyaki on all the islands. Hey, it fixed our sanity a little. That's why we gotta go around and enjoy ourselves. Hello there, is there something we can help you with? I don't speak... Wait, Japanese? Your Japanese is perfect. As a college professor, if it wasn't, I'd probably be out of a job. I'm no college professor, but I work in a Japanese software company, so I'd be in a bit of trouble too. Don't look at me, I just live here. Well, not in Tokyo, in the suburbs. Well, I think you guys might speak Japanese better than I do. I mean, sorry, I never would have thought... Would you prefer to speak in English instead? No, I mean, no, please. Japanese is fine. Sorry, I wasn't meaning to be nosy. I guess I don't see people wearing yukata this late in the year. Is there a festival or something? No, we come to Asakusa every year and the yukata became part of the tradition after a while. Guess it makes us stand out more than we already do, huh? Don't knock tradition, Tony. Admittedly, my legs are a little cold, though. Oh, wait. You guys come here every year? You must know the area pretty well by now. I'm looking for a kendo dojo, where Takashi Kawana works. It should be in this area. Kawana. Why does that name seem so familiar? Oh right, he's that kendo instructor at the dojo right behind us. People say he's some kind of prodigy. I wouldn't be surprised if he became a master in time. Supposedly, he's very particular about who he trains. I suppose he doesn't want to waste his time with people who aren't serious. Makes sense when you think about it, with how good he is. He must get a ton of wannabe kendo masters coming to him. Seems like he trains a lot of police too. In the time I've been standing here, we've seen a few come in and out. All that, and I think he's still in his early 20s. For someone so young, he must be under a lot of pressure. No kidding. I've heard talk of an interdepartmental kendo tournament. It's become a matter of pride for the different regional departments. Wish my work did martial arts competitions between departments. Nothing could make the unspoken tension between me and my boss quite like a good smack to the jawline. Police fighting each other out, they must be pretty brutal. I mean, I guess police in Japan don't really have to use force all that much, though. Yeah, anyway. How do you know so much about the dojo, anyway? I mean, I live in Shinagawa, but I don't know anything about... That's specific about it. You see, it says so right here on the dojo's flyer. He was out here about 10 minutes ago before you came handing them out. It kind of seemed a little prickly, so we didn't talk to him, though. I admit it would have been much cooler if we'd known that off the top of our head, but we're glad we were able to help you regardless. It makes me feel a little silly now, trying to learn more about him from a flyer. Considering he trains so many police, I'm surprised I've never heard of him until now. Are you associated with the police somehow? Huh? Who, me? No, of course not. I'm an investigator, see, like a private detective. Listen, if anyone comes by asking about a female detective, just sorry, I don't speak Japanese, right? Exactly, I appreciate it. Anyway, I should get going. Sorry to bother you. Thanks for the information, guys. Pleasure. Good luck at the dojo. Let us know if you learn any kendo tricks. The men in the department always puffed out their chests when they talked about the kendo competitions, like it was going to impress me or something. Never paid it much attention. Still, it's strange that someone related, however faintly to the mask, is yet another tie to my old life. Takashi Kawana. Seems like an interesting guy, but very serious and not keen on strangers. At least I didn't have to use any English. That would have been a disaster. Why? Who are you? A friend of mine's. You're a friend of my sister's. You expect me to believe that? A little old, don't you think? Gee, thanks. Really, you think I wouldn't recognize you? You're the officer who was at the shrine in April, who almost got her killed. And now you're lying about it, pretending to be her friend? To no doubt get something from me. Don't look so shocked, your little deception was easy to read as well. After your idiocy in Kamakura, I heard Maya crying over the phone every night for a month. Don't bother her anymore. Now get out of here, before myself or one of your fellow officers has to throw you out. That didn't go well. Well, that didn't go well. Maybe Maya will know how to soften her brother up. Are we going all the way back to Kamakura now? But he just said to leave her alone. He literally just said, leave her alone. Okay, whatever. If we're planning to piss him off more, I guess we might as well go all the way, right? Go the whole hog. She's still at the shrine, I assume. I think I managed to find your brother. He didn't exactly seem happy to see me. Yep, you found my brick brother alright. He's been protective of me ever since we were little. I know I'm probably overstepping my boundaries, but would you be willing to come talk to him? I don't think he'll tell me anything on my own. You want me to help? You know, seeing you again really got me thinking. I decided that even if everyone's trying to handle it, I can't sit here and ignore what's happening. I need to understand why my family's been acting so strangely. Even my own brother is keeping me in the dark. I'm sick of it. Sure, I'll come with you, Ida. If we went alone, he'd probably pat me on the head and send me on my way. But if you're there, I'm sure he'll tell me about my parents, the mask, and everything. Are you sure that's what you want? Sometimes not knowing is better, Mai. No. No more stupid little Mai. I'd rather be hurt and know than happy and ignorant. But before we go, let's check on Grandma. These days, if she doesn't know where I am, it can really set her off. Alright, we'll make a quick stop at the house. Thanks, Mai. Sorry, for some reason this game, it's very hard for me to read. I don't know why this specifically. I'm messing up my lines all the time. Oh, what the hell? Has she been set off already? A dead crow lies in the middle of the street. The small body is in a bad state of decay, covered in dried blood. The maggots have begun eating at its remains. Delicious. Anyway, that wasn't there when we came in before. I said no visitors, leave me alone. Grandma, it's me. Please open the door. Mai? Oh, Mai, it's you. Please come in. Yes, come in. Wait, what is she doing here? It's okay, Grandma. She's here to help. Help? Ha! Don't make me laugh. You were supposed to help me, remember? I felt something and you were going to free me from the past. Free you? Are you talking about the mask? Do not discuss that horrid thing here. No matter how far you go, I can still feel it, like needles in my skin dragging me to it. In my dreams, I can still see that place. Have you seen it too, Detective? A dark place where those we've lost reside. I'm so old and have wasted so much time, yet the pain won't go away. My poor Emiko. I miss her so much. If only I could have found her. Emiko? You mean Mum? Find her? What are you talking about? She's gone. Takashi told me she died after I was born. Yes, of course, you shouldn't be asking about such things, Mai. If it weren't for this woman, you'd be safe at the shrine. No, Grandma, you're wrong. I'm not safe while everyone lies to me. I'm gonna see Takashi. If you don't tell me the truth, he will. Mai, listen to yourself. You must stop. Opening the door to the past will solve nothing. Ever since you were little, I've done what I could to protect you and your brother. Please don't go down this path. You look so much like her, you know. Your mother. And you, Detective. Perhaps my granddaughter is too naive to see it, but you can't hide it from me. I know what you've seen, what you think you're able to do. But keep my family out of it. We've suffered enough. You don't know anything about me, and besides, I'm not the one hiding things from my family. Tell me, do you know the story of Izanagi and Izanami? Grandma, this again? I'm sure Ito's not interested in hearing some old myth. Really, we should get going. Stay right there. Though I've told you this story many times, you don't seem to grasp its importance. I think it would be of use to this woman to hear it. Izanagi and Izanami were the first of the gods, known to us as the Kami. In legend, it was the drops of ocean water that fell from Izanagi's jeweled spear that created the islands of Japan. When they descended to our islands, they brought their love and devotion with them to the realms of mortals. Izanagi and Izanami had many children, the deities of nature that inhabit the natural world around us. For a time, life was peaceful. However, as Izanami gave birth to Kagutsuchi, the kami of fire, she was horribly burnt and suffered mortal wounds. As she lay dying, and faced with her mortality, new kami were born from her suffering. Kami that hid away from the light. When Izanami passed, Izanagi was inconsolable, and in his rage, he struck down the child that killed his love. Unable to accept her death, he ventured deep underground to Yomi no Kuni, the land of the dead. Half blind and distraught with grief, he wandered the darkness until he finally heard the voice of his beloved. Though unable to see her face, Izanagi begged Izanami to return with him. Izanami replied that she would try and ask the gods of Yomi no Kuni permission to return to the land of the living. Incapable of restraining his desire to see his love, Izanagi set his comb alight in order to look upon his lost love. What greeted him was the sight of her decaying, worm-eaten face. In horror, Izanagi attempted to flee Yomi no Kuni. Izanami, in rage, sent dark spirits to pursue him and drag him back to her. After narrowly escaping, Izanagi sealed the entrance to Yomi no Kuni with a great boulder. So you see, it is our mortality that brings suffering into the world, yet resisting it is a perversion of the natural order. Being mortal means we must accept that we cannot control life and death. Detective, some things cannot be changed, and some doors should never be opened. You must stop. Grandma, you're talking about stories and myth. We're talking about real things. The story may be a myth, but there is truth within it. Can't you see that? The things you pursue, they're unnatural, unclean. Heed my warning and stop this foolishness. I won't let you involve my family any further. First those bastards take my Emiko and then you show up? Perhaps I'm being punished for my sins. You got me involved by giving me the mask, lady. Mai, come here. Come here, my sweet child. We must keep you away from her. No, Grandma, I told you already. I'm going to see Takashi. I'm an adult now. You can't tell me what to do anymore. No, you can't. You can't go. We must protect our family from outsiders, Mai. You're reopening old wounds. Leave us alone. Let us heal. Heal? You think I want to heal? Can't you see how much these lies have hurt me already? You're the one wounding me, Grandma, not Ito. You're delusional. You tell us stories about kami and spirits. Takashi might hide things from me too, but at least he makes sense. This time he's going to tell me the truth about everything. About Mum and Dad too. No, stop. I'll tell you how your parents... You can't, can you? You never told me how they died. The reasons always change every time I ask. No, Mai, please, you must listen. They might be listening. They're still out there. And they haven't forgiven me, can't you see? They? What are you talking about? You're insane. I'm sorry I spoke to you that way. I'll be back to check on you soon. Don't go, please. Goodbye, Grandma. Well, that didn't go very well. How can she say not to involve her family in it when she literally got us involved in it with that fucking mask? I'm sorry, she's gotten much worse since you last saw her. No, it's fine. Why do you think she told us that story? About Izanagi? I don't know, it was kind of creepy, wasn't it? She was talking about it like she really believed it. Come on, let's go see Takashi. Do you think Takashi really will talk to us? I mean, seeing us together means that we've buried the hatchet, right? Whoa, where do you think you're going? Mai and I are leaving. What of it? Oh, well, you can't. I got a call from Mai's grandmother and she says she's having health issues, so she has to stay. I didn't ask what they were. Wouldn't want to be caught fainting on my shift again, but it must be pretty bad if she called. Mai's an adult. Her grandmother can't keep her here. Let's go. No, you don't understand. You're not going anywhere. Use violence as my only option? Really? Use violence. Oh, maybe we'll go see her grandmother again. I'm trying to fight this this insatiable urge she has to murder everybody. Go away, no visitors. Do I actually have no choice? Am I gonna have to beat the shit out of him? Ugh, good thing I'm wearing gloves. That's a bit of work. Alright, what am I doing with this? Am I gonna scare him with it? Oh my god. I told you how I don't like... about the blood, and blood's not really my thing, you see. The gems and... Oh, okay, I'm dizzy. I'm a little dizzy. I'm just gonna... Gross. Oh dear, did he just faint? Sure looks like it. He'll be fine. Let's get a move on. I knew there'd be another option. We don't have to be a psycho after all. Although we should definitely come through the game again and be an absolute nut job. That's what I think anyway. I want to replay the game and just kill everybody. And just be a general psychotic. Because I want to see how different it is. I assume there's many multiple endings. Judging by the way everything's gone. Depending on your choices and everything, you know? Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? It's not like that, Takashi. It was my idea. I asked her to come talk to you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely if you need to talk to me, you can come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No. If I came alone, you just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need you to see. See what? What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Put it away. So you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me. That's not true, I wasn't hiding it. It's not something you ever needed to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it in the first place? Wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Ito. Mai, I understand that you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. You're wrong. Back in April, when Mai was held at knife point by another girl, it was the mask that she was after. A mask your family is connected to. Looking for it. I suppose I've been a fool to think I could keep the truth of our family's past away from you. The past? Does this have to do with Mum and Dad? Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult named the Kamen Kai, of which our parents were members. A cult? You're kidding. How'd your parents get mixed up in that? I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Tokimasa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy and falseness of city life. Our parents both had master's degrees, and my mother was on her way to earning a PhD. They chose to give up their lives and their careers to follow some mystic and live on a compound instead. The Kamen Kai were one of many such groups back then. I was a child and didn't understand, but thinking about how our parents were deceived and what they put me and Mai through, it's unforgivable. The mask is on the compound, but for what purpose or what they believed it could do, I don't know. Do you think there are any members of this Kamen Kai left who'd know? No, you see, there are no surviving members. They died, all of them, including our parents. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark. I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and dragging me behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me that our parents were dead. She didn't seem sad. It was as if she expected it. The government censored much of what happened, so I was never able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that happened in those woods was all a bad dream. If it weren't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared what might happen to us. As a high schooler, I spent more time trying to find out about the Kamen Kai than I did studying. I thought that if I could understand why my parents were so willingly gave up their lives and abandoned us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me any peace. Mum and Dad died as part of some cult? I don't believe it. It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that in hiding it from you, I was able to hide away my feelings as well. I think for Grandma it was too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it secret. There was no way we could live a normal life with the stigma of the Kamen Kai attached to us. I suppose keeping that secret hurt us both dearly. For me, pursuing kendo gave me some measure of control over my life again. But Grandma, who made a choice to leave her only daughter behind, she always seemed to carry the guilt of it with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she was looking for Mum. When she'd come home, she'd have a rotten stink on her clothes. I was too scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. They found her wandering in the sewers holding nothing but the mask, the same one from the coal compound all those years before, and the one you hold now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long that all those unpleasant memories from the past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life. That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air, or maybe someone gave it to her. She never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy. It had a strange aura about it. My grandmother was looking for Mum? In the sewers? I don't remember any of this. You were in the dorms at your school at the time. Grandma's strange behaviour was part of why I insisted on you going to those private schools away from Kamakura. I couldn't drag you into the madness of our past. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time you returned to Kamakura. Detective, what is it exactly you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of use to you. I assume you've heard about what happened to my partner. This mask was there again when he died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from. If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. No, Mai, you've helped plenty, but I have to do this on my own. Ito was right. I apologize for not telling you all this sooner, but you can't be involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I'd lost you that day at the shrine. I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you now. Alright, thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we're still family. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for your help, Mai. You're right, Mai. I'll come visit you soon. It looks like she's gone. Mai's not here. There's no need to be coy. No doubt taking possession of that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams and saw things I would never have dreamt up on my own. There was always an unusual air about it that I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to Mai again makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wood and paint, though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did except for one man. On this street there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on your way in. An old historian named Yasuhisa is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask is truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the best person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally on other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information. Hopefully he can shed some light on what it really is. I hope so, but please, detective, be careful. The plot thickens, huh? The mask is trying to make us kill people, so it's dark, alright, you ain't joking about that. Anybody here? Welcome, come in, do sit down. No need to be so formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you Yasuhisa? Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr. Kawana? Still prickly as ever, I suppose? I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. It's the quirks that come with old age, you know. What does Mr. Kawana think I can help you with? I'm looking into a few things related to the Kamenkai, the group his family got mixed up in. Ah, a more difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share that name. The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the guru, Tokimasa. The second is an ancient order, over 1,000 years old. Maybe they're the same. What's that you're holding? I was told it's related to the Kamenkai, the newer one, and that you could tell me about it. Ah, that explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes for one. I imagine you have many, many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They are not meant to be a disguise, and yet a mask cannot lie. They are meant to be a disguise, and yet they cannot mask or contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human faces we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came to be in possession of an object with such a dark history. I think it might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history, layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Relic. If it's from the Kamenkai cult from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask is what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it. For instance? Like why... Now I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you. Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place. Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real. Why you feel a strong will exerting itself on you. Oh yes, I know all those things too. How could you know about that? When Tokimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomena as the ravings of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows, I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise. Most interesting. Tell me, detective. Oh, apologies, do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Ha, my mistake, you must forgive me, a slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see. And you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're chasing. Tell me, does me telling you that your expressions are not an illusion provide you any level of comfort? I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope? It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah yes, knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such import would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate, pre-measured threads that determine our deeds? Our wishes and our ends, the minutiae, our wishes and our ends the minute we come into existence? Or conversely, is our thread subject to chaos, inherent in our universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds, and that which happens to us seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short, and which are followed? Chance. Yes, of course. Maybe you feel your life is somewhat out of your control as of late. Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I've had much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Kamenko. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for. Ah yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as no surprise that the creation of such a mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favour. Don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? A book of the missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer. Mask bearer, huh? That's me, right? Although you carry it, it does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me. Sounds easy enough, where can I start looking? Oh, you needn't go that far. The man who has it is right outside this building, in fact. As I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, cannot leave my shop. He's right outside? This won't take long, I'll be right back. But we need to wrap this episode up, because we're out of time for today. I assume it's the man at the octopus at the takoyaki stand, right? I guess we'll see. Alright, we better wrap this one up, and in the next one, he will shed some light on it. It seems like he's very knowledgeable, he knows a lot about it. So, that's good. I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.